When most people hear the word Israelites, they picture small, wandering people, nomads, refugees, a group constantly defeated, constantly conquered, always struggling to survive. That is the version taught in classrooms. But history is rarely shaped by the weak. And when we examine ancient records carefully, not just biblical texts, but inscriptions, foreign chronicles, and archaeology, a very different picture begins to emerge. A picture of an organization, of regional power, of influence that extends far beyond what is commonly taught. Tonight, we are not rewriting history. We are restoring scale. Because the greatest erasure is not deleting a people entirely. It is shrinking their importance until they no longer threaten the story others want to tell. The earliest references to Israel outside biblical texts do not describe a minor group. They describe people known, feared, recognized. The Merneptah stele, dated to around 1208 BCE, refers to Israel not as a myth, but as an identifiable entity significant enough to be mentioned alongside powerful groups in Canaan. This matters. Ancient empires did not record insignificant tribes. Stone inscriptions were expensive, deliberate, and political. If Israel appears in these records, it means they mattered. Yet later historical narratives often soften this. Israel becomes a footnote, a peripheral culture, a people in transition. But transition from what? The evidence suggests Israel was not emerging from nothing, but emerging from prior strength. The common portrayal of early Israelites emphasizes disorganization. But archaeological patterns tell a different story. Settlement layouts show planning. Legal traditions reveal complexity. Social organization points to centralized authority. This is not the profile of a fragile people. This is the profile of a society that understood governance. More importantly, Israelite law did something radical for its time. It limited kings. It bound rulers to moral codes. Power was not absolute. It was accountable. That alone would make such a system dangerous to later empires built on divine kingship and centralized control. A people who believed authority could be questioned, could not be allowed to appear too successful. History is not neutral. It is shaped by whoever survives long enough to tell it. Empires that rose after Israel inherited the land and the narrative. To justify conquest, the past must be reframed. A strong people must become weak. A sophisticated culture must become primitive. A system of law must become folklore. This is not unique to Israel, but Israel presents a unique challenge. Because its story insists on moral authority over imperial authority, that idea is dangerous. So the solution is subtle. Do not erase Israel completely. Just reduce it. One of the most telling features of erased history is silence. Not denial. Silence. There are gaps where records should exist. Periods where foreign empires document everything, except Israel. This does not mean Israel vanished. It means Israel was no longer useful to mention. When history stops talking, it is often because someone decides it should. Silence is not absence. It is control. When a people's past is reduced, their present becomes easier to manipulate. Identity weakens. Legitimacy is questioned. Continuity is broken. What remains is a fragmented story that feels incomplete. That incompleteness is not accidental. It is inherited. The erased history of the Israelites is not about exaggeration. It is about scale. They were not perfect. They were not invincible. But they were not insignificant. History did not forget them. History reshaped them. And once you understand that, you begin to ask a far more dangerous question. How many other people were reduced in the same way? And whose story are we still not allowed to see at full size?